Welcome to Coach's Corner and happy Thanksgiving. We are on the holiday week break, and that of course means coming up on Christmas break and a lot of activities going on for the winter months. We are now into winter sports, and this week's show we're going to feature Kristin Smith, the HiStepper coach. We'll also be talking some boys basketball. We haven't had a chance to talk with Kristin yet this year, but first of all, congratulations. And I always say that because you always have good squads, and I know you have a lot of expectations for your squad this year too.
I definitely do. This is the first year we've had freshmen on the team, and I think it's a great addition, and they've done very well. I was very pleased through football season. Senior night was a little shaky, wasn't my favorite, but that's okay. I think the crowd enjoyed it, and we know what we need to work on and what we need to do to get better, so that's good. It's always good.
The HiSteppers, we see them in their routines during football and basketball and wrestling, but you're preparing about 3 months away from your national competition.
Oh gosh, don't say 3 months. That sounds way too quick, but yes, we are. Right now we're working on Panic, which is tonight and tomorrow night, and then also getting some preliminary things for basketball and wrestling, and then also working on nationals. So right now my girls probably have 6 or 7 routines running through their head, and that's a lot, but they'll be okay. They'll get it sorted out and do okay.
Those girls are all like quarterbacks because they have to be able to multifunction, don't they?
They really do. And it is not unusual at all when we have 2 and 3 games a week when we go into basketball and wrestling for us to be doing 2 and 3 different routines that week, and they have to be able to process all of those and be able to perform each one of them and execute each one of them well. And it is rough sometimes to have all of that running through your head.
When people watch your squad during football or basketball or wrestling, I hope they realize that you just didn't randomly pick these out of your head to have the girls go out and do. You're working toward a goal, and part of that process is you get to perform in front of a live audience. And so when they see your girls perform at half times or during ball games, there really is a purpose to that.
Yeah, definitely. Football season, I choreograph everything in football season, and that is kind of just a prelude to us working toward nationals. But yes, what you see in basketball and wrestling season, 90% of what we do is what we'll put on the floor at nationals, and it is a great warm-up for our nationals routines. And a lot of times I have to tell my girls, because I have really high expectations of my girls, and they have very high expectations of themselves. And, sometimes in basketball and wrestling, when we're working on a nationals routine and we're putting it on the floor in January, it might not be quite what I want it to look like, but I always have to remind them, hey, we're not peaking in January, we're peaking in March. And so we've got to get that out in front of a crowd. We've got to make some mistakes so we know what to do better, so we know what to work on, and we can reach that ultimate goal of doing well at nationals. And I really think this team has a very good chance of doing very well at nationals.
How many years for you now as our head coach?
I think 21.
21 years.
Yes.
So
and I'm sure I don't look it.
From HiStepper to HiCoach as well. How many girls are on the squad this year?
This year I have 34. We started the year with 35, but one of my girls had to move over the summer, and so we have 34.
You mentioned that for the first time you've got 9th graders on the squad. What was behind that decision?
Well, really, it was just the idea of 9th grade a lot of time is a very tough transitional year. And really doing anything possible to get those 9th graders to tie in to something at the high school to get them connected and get them involved. And most other programs, if you look, 9th graders can be on a varsity squad. So I think mine was about the only one that they couldn't. And so I was like, yeah, let's try it. Let's see how it works. And I have 4 freshmen, and they're all great. Really good girls.
If you'd have gone through the process and they weren't good enough, that would have been a moot point, but you found some girls that were. And boy, if you can start them out then when they really come through the program, by the time they're seniors, they're really solid.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right, Phil. There was no guarantee there were going to be freshmen on the team. We just allowed 8th graders to try out, and if the judges picked them, if they met the qualifications and got on the team, then yes, they could have a chance to be on the team. But I agree that I think 4-year members could be an amazing addition to this team. So.
Who are your senior co-captains this year?
I have Susie Morris is my captain, and then I have 5 lieutenants. It's Casey Kales, Michelle Martin, Annie Keithley, Abigail Lee, and I always forget one of them. Gosh.
I don't want you to forget one
It's
of them.
okay. It's okay. Like, it's terrible. I always forget somebody when I'm put on the spot. Lynn and Lesser is my other one.
They're very important to your program, aren't
Incredibly important, and she is definitely not one to forget because she is amazing.
Right.
She is one of the most talented girls on my team. So.
And we bring up these girls because most of the time they're girls that have gone through the process and have gained your trust. You don't put anybody in that position unless you feel like they're a true leader too.
That is true. I always tell my girls, you know, as far as officers, that final decision rests with me. Yes, my team gets a vote in it, but you're right. I've got to be able to trust those girls. I've got to know that talent-wise, they're where they have to be able to lead the team, and I have to be able to know that they have those leadership skills. Just personally, that they're a leader for the team too. So.
And I know that even maybe the girls that are seniors that aren't captains or co-captains, but those girls have achieved quite a bit. Very special group of girls, and it sounds like you have a big senior class this year.
Oh my gosh, I have 18 seniors.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that I will say that's going to be devastating at the end of the year. It really is. That's over half my team. We'll be graduating. That is the biggest senior class I have ever graduated as coach. And, you know, it was just one of those things. That's the way it worked out. And I had a lot of seniors. I have several two-year members. Several girls had tried out as freshmen and didn't make it, and then came back and tried out that next year, and you could tell they had worked so hard, and that's where that big influx of seniors came in. So, yeah, it's going to be rough to replace 18 girls.
Well, this year is nice, too, because last year in December you didn't get to perform at the Robson until January. This year you guys get to hold a few routines in there, too.
Yes, that'll be very nice to be able to get them on the court before Christmas break.
Isn't Robson Fieldhouse nice now, too?
Oh, it looks gorgeous. It looks great. For
people that haven't seen it, and I know you're in there every day, but it's been repainted and with the lobby area, and it's just really a centerpiece for our high school now.
Oh, yeah, so. It looks great, and I'm really looking forward to the unveiling of the statues at the wrestling match. That is going to be, I think that's a long time coming. I think we have needed that for so long, and I'm so glad they're doing that. That's great.
Y'all going back to Denton this year?
Yes, we are. Yes, we'll be last weekend of March.
Wow.
So.
Now, it'll be here before you know it, won't it?
Oh, gosh, it will. It will. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time right now.
Donnie and the kids okay?
They're doing well.
Well,
doing well.
Have a good Thanksgiving, okay?
I will do it. You
we'll
too.
See you at the ball games this year.
Okay. All right.
Kristin Smith, she is our HiStepper coach on this week's edition of Coach's Corner.